Welcome to Maiden Mother Crone Tarot, where we hold sacred space for divine divergence. My name is Kayla, and I'm so thankful that you've joined me today. Today's tarot topic is the full moon in Sagittarius. We're going to discuss stepping beyond comfort zones, a soul-led adventure, in honor of the adventurous and expansive Sagittarius. First, we're just going to draw a couple of oracle cards. This is actually an affirmation deck that I'm going to use just to kind of get the energy. You can't dim her light. She's effing solar powered. Oh, that's good. This deck always makes me laugh. Oh, and that's the card that my son actually drew on. I talked about this in one of my readings. I'm not afraid to take up space and shine like the star that I am. Next, we're going to pull an animal oracle card. We are going to discuss stepping beyond comfort zones, soul-led adventure. How's everybody doing with this full moon energy so far? I know in my household, we feel the full moon extensively. 4 children, an emotional authority manifester. Yeah, this energy in this household is always affected. All right. Anybody have any trips planned? Going anywhere this summer? You're talking about adventure, so where's your soul longing for you to go? And then, of course, I wanted to use this Moon Witch Oracle deck since we're doing a moon reading. This has a lot of stuff. Ooh. I'm trying to decide if I can show this or not because of YouTube's rules. So let's see. That'll work. Okay. So we have number 13, Divine Feminine, step into your power. Isn't that such a great card for this expansive energy, this adventurous energy? Talking about stepping out of comfort zones. Your soul wants you to step into your divine power. Divine power is feminine, receptive, nurturing power. Attacking others is an attack on myself. I choose to release this now. When I'm connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. Love that. Chameleon spirit, act as if, number 14. And number 58, Stag spirit, take the lead. So already I'm seeing progression in these numbers. We have 13 to 14. Okay, let's go ahead and grab our tarot from our spiritual archetypes of the Maiden, Mother, and Crone. First, we are going to pull the Maiden. Maiden, can you please help us on this full moon as we discuss our comfort zones and how we can step out of them to experience an adventure that our soul is leading us on. Advice on stepping out of our comfort zones and stepping into our soul's desired adventure, please, Maiden. In my tarot practice, I like to dedicate decks to spiritual archetypes that I work with, and so this is just the deck that I have dedicated to the Maiden. I'm actually thinking about purchasing another one because she is so just, I wouldn't say reckless, but she's very rebellious, which surprised me. I was not expecting that, so that's kind of why I picked this deck, but she's very much to be taken seriously. And I'm an intuitive reader, so I don't always pull cards the same way. Sometimes I will pull cards the way I just did. Other times I will see what flips out. And sometimes while I'm shuffling the deck, I will also feel cards that are calling to me to pick them up. And then we have Justice at the bottom of the deck. Alright, this deck I'm going to shuffle off camera because the back artwork is not approved for YouTube. This deck is medicated. This deck is dedicated to the Mother spiritual archetype. Mother, can you please give us advice today on how we can channel the energy of this full moon in Sagittarius, this adventurous, expansive, truth-seeking energy, how we can use it to illuminate areas in our lives, comfort zones in our lives, that we are ready to step beyond, that our soul wants to lead us on a wonderful, wonderful adventure. Can you please give us advice for that today, please, Mother? Okay, so we've already got some repetition here. We've got the Three of Swords twice. We have some divine masculine, divine feminine going on with the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Oh, I love to see this card. And we have the Magician at the bottom of the deck. And then the last spiritual archetype that we are going to channel today will be the Crone. Crone, can you please give us guidance today on how to channel the energy of this full moon in Sagittarius, how we can step beyond our comfort zones and into a soul-led adventure today? Advice, please, Crone. And I do shuffle off camera ahead of time before I begin, guys. Goodness. Wow. Wow. This is quite the cards coming through today. And then we have Awakening, which is Judgment in this deck, on the bottom of the deck. Okay. So, you have Divine Feminine, step into your power. With the amount of femininity in these cards, this is definitely a big, big deal here. We have the Queen of Swords. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the High Priestess. Stag spirit, take the lead. Chameleon spirit, act as if. So have you been stuck in a loop? With this Four of Cups. Followed immediately by the Queen of Swords. Step into your power. You can't dim her light. She's solar powered. I'm going to take a minute to ground into this energy a little bit more. All right, what comfort zones? That was the question. Out of comfort zones and into adventure. It seems like you've been disinterested in stepping out of your comfort zone for a while. He's propped up here. He's got his arms crossed. He's reflecting. He's discontent, unsatisfied, apathetic about this cup, this new adventure that the soul is trying to extend. And the Maiden is telling you that this Queen of Swords is ready to come through with mental clarity, with decisive action, knowing which boundaries belong still and which ones you need to step beyond. A lot of this you have stayed in for too long because you felt obligated, that you had to do it, and this maybe is to prove a point. But your soul's wish here, your soul's wish, your soul's contentment with the Nine of Cups is for you to move beyond these boundaries you've set in place because of this heartache with the Three of Swords. And again, we have the Three of Swords twice here. There's not a lot of earth energy here. I get a little bit with this Death card. Maybe you think that you are not allowed to take an adventure. You've created some limitation or expectation for yourself because of these responsibilities. But the Queen of Swords is here to cut that out. To cut out the lies, to cut out those beliefs that do not serve you. Your ego might have been trying to protect you there, but your soul desires this adventure. The only way to do that, to step into this adventure, is to let go of this sorrow and this grief, to release this heartache. And for some reason, I just keep getting responsibility just keeps coming through. With justice coming through on the bottom of the deck from the Maiden. It's all about fairness and balance, but it's also about consequences and accountability. And I feel like you've taken on too much of this responsibility, and this could be at work or it could be with your family. I'm leaning more towards family. That's kind of what I'm feeling. But the Queen of Swords wants you to go ahead and, as we discussed, cut those limiting beliefs, but delegate this responsibility or authority to the other parties involved. You are not meant to carry the weight of the world on your own. You're not meant to carry this, I just got like a chip on your shoulder. You don't have to prove anything to anyone here. You don't have to keep fighting something that is not your fight in the first place. Take the lead to release this, to step out of your comfort zone, because a lot of times it's very comfortable to be the one that is handling all the situations in the family, right? You step into this identity, this ego identity, this role, and you've done it for so long, you're an expert at it, right? And everyone enjoys being the expert, knowing what to do in a situation. And maybe you're afraid that if you do try to delegate some of this, it's going to come across as an attack. Attacking others is an attack on myself. I choose to release this now. So understanding that you would not attack yourself, and if you treat the situation, treat these other people as if they are you, because they are, an aspect of yourself. We are all one at the end of the day. When you can enter this with this divine power, this softness, and put yourself first. Put your soul first. Then you can transmute and manifest this adventure that your soul is seeking with the Magician here. King of Cups and Queen of Cups. You know, the queens are all about receiving, right? Being the receptor of that. And the kings are all about action, authority. So this divine union of stability in your emotions. Look at this dolphin here. I love dolphins. They're such spiritual animals. Highly conscious. But your soul has all the tools needed to step into this Three of Wands. This advancement. Just look, this looks like she's literally on a hike in Costa Rica or Hawaii, or she's traveling somewhere exotic. Whatever this adventure is, for a lot of you, I feel like it is a vacation somewhere. It is a trip. And this could be a retreat, or it could just be a family trip or a solo trip, but your soul really, really wants you to go. And maybe that is so you can connect with Earth. There are certain places, certain energy centers for each of us on the planet that unlock special gifts within ourselves. And so maybe that is your soul's adventure, your current soul adventure. For you to not be swayed by your emotions here, to trust your intuition. You have the High Priestess here, and with these, water's all about intuition. Listen to your soul, despite the pain of the past with both of these Three of Swords and this Five of Swords. And maybe there will be some dissatisfied parties here. Or maybe that's all just a mental constraint that you have put here with this Eight of Swords. Maybe you think, because of past heartache, because of past experiences, that if you do approach someone, this is what would happen. There would be this big, oh, you're attacking me. Oh, they walk away, they're unhappy. Even though you win, even though you go on this vacation, maybe that's how you feel the situation would go. But with awakening here, the Crone is inviting you to trust the divine, step into your power, channel this joyful presence. Channel this joyful presence. Imagine what this trip is going to feel like. Imagine what this trip is going to be like. What are you going to eat? What are you going to see? What animals are you going to touch? What plants will you get to smell and touch? Use all of your senses. Act as if you are there on this trip. Visualize this trip. And by channeling this joy, connecting to this joy, you attract support from the universe. It paves the way for other souls that you need to communicate with. With this Nine of Swords, that's sleepless nights, anxiety, feeling isolated. Look how at peace this High Priestess is. She is not worried. She has her divine feminine and divine masculine here balanced. Look at this crown of the moon. Look at these keys. Inside, you have the keys to release this bondage that you think is so terrible, that you think is just too tight. There's no way around it. There's no option. But inside your subconscious, inside your intuition, you have the keys to unlock the solution to your problem, to free yourself from these chains, these self-limiting chains, self-imposed prison that you've placed yourself in, to have the strength, the hard strength, the determination to go on this adventure that your soul is longing for. And with that, ending an old cycle, having a rebirth in the way that you experience this life, where an adventure isn't something that happens once every 5 years, once every 10 years, where an adventure is something that you commit to on a soul level every day. And maybe you don't have the means to take a trip across the world or to go to a luxury resort or have a spiritual retreat or any of these things. At the end of the day, adventure is anything where you are curious, experiencing something new, and your soul is on fire. Where can you do that? Is there somewhere you live now? One of my coworkers, I love her. We have lots of really great conscious conversations. And she told me that she tries to mix up her routine so that she's allowing the universe to introduce things to her naturally. So, for example, instead of driving to work the same way every day, taking a slightly altered route. And who knows, maybe she sees some new wildlife. Maybe she sees a yard sale on the side of the road with the exact item she's been looking for. Maybe she sees a stray animal and she's able to rescue the animal. Those little things in and of themselves are adventures. So how can you step beyond your comfort of doing the same thing every single day and challenge yourself to explore the world like a child again? Birth. Step into your power. Don't dim your light. Maybe others have expected you to settle into the routine. Oh, you work your job, you come home, you take care of your family, you pay your bills, and that's life. And on the inside, your soul's been dying this whole time. The magician is connected to the divine and uses that connection to manifest in the earth, in this earthly realm, what they desire. What is it that you desire? Okay? Act as it. Look at all the purple in this card. In both of these cards. Act as if. Maybe you should sit out under the full moon. Journal under the full moon. Bring a candle if it's not bright enough. Or a reading lamp or those little clip-on reading lights. Or you can meditate under the full moon. You could really do some great visualization exercises under the full moon for this adventure that your soul is wanting to lead you on. And if you don't have a place in mind that you want to go, you can always open up to your soul. And in your meditation, ask your soul, what is one way that I can have an adventure in my everyday life? Challenge yourself to commit to one adventure a week and one small change a week. Okay, if you normally go to one coffee spot, choose a different coffee spot. If you get lunch at the same place every day, go somewhere else. If you pack the same PB&J, pack a different sandwich. If you eat inside, go outside and sit outside to have your lunch. I'm going to end it with this. Your soul is not going to be content with the life that you've been living. And you know that. And maybe that's what this Three of Swords is actually about. Your inner heartache that you've been going through because of these self-imposed restrictions, right? There's no one around her. I know she's not crying, but this rain here just makes me feel like crying. Crying to oneself. You can't dim her light. She is effing solar powered. You are made of the stars. You are the divine. Step into your power. Channel joy. Channel gratitude. And challenge yourself. Write this down every week. How can I have a soul-led adventure today? Where is one comfort zone that I can step beyond? That I can push the boundary, that I can expand into? What is a truth? How can this full moon in Sagittarius illuminate the truth of my self-imposed prison? And how can you channel this willpower, this chariot energy to be reborn? Take the lead, my friends. Take the lead. Sending love and light to anyone that is open to receive it. Thanks for joining me at the table today. I hope this reading illuminated something for you and that your soul is now inspired to take that adventure that you've been longing for. Let me know in the comments where you're going to go, what you're going to do, how are you going to step out of your comfort zones, even if it's something small. I'd love to know. Take the lead, channel your inner Saggy, and leap into that expansive adventure your soul's ready for. We'll see you next time, darlings. Bye.